Another solid pre-show. I think we probably need to start rolling on it and selling it. Lots of wisdom, lots of kind words said about other people. Very caring group. Very caring group. Happy for others' good fortunes.
You're gonna have to sign a.
You're
gonna have to sign a waiver to listen, though. We need you to sign a waiver before listening.
Yeah, we'll have to. We can leave the swears in, but now we have to edit the names out. How about that fucking guy? Fucking
yeah. Oh, the show's about to start.
Oh, okay. Here we
good.
go.
Okay, good.
Hey, look, everyone. It's Boomer. It's Warner, but it's not Pinder today. It is the one and only Brent Krahn.
Good morning, guys.
Sitting in the chair where Pinder usually sits. You've got the big headphones, the big cans on today. You look good. There it is. Be at bkron3kron.
Yeah.
There it is on Twitter. You can follow him on social media.
Mm-hmm.
There will be no drinking today. I know that was probably when I said, hey, do you want to come in and do the show? You probably just assumed that every day we get blasted on this thing and drink 19 drinks in 1 hour. Not the case.
I had a drink list coming in here, and I also have 2 cases of wine in my truck.
Right.
So in case we get a little empty, we're not in a pinch.
Last time you were here, it was our Christmas Spirits show, and
I didn't eat before it either. Too, I really just let it all mix up down there without any.
Did you have a base going in there, Retro?
I can't even remember. I think it mattered. I had enough calories from the eggnog and the cream, but no, I don't think I did.
The poor eggnog took a rough ride. I don't know if it'll be back. I feel like it has to be back because it's very much a Christmassy thing. But there
was a pink grapefruit tequila thing there too.
Paloma.
Yeah, that buried me right off. I mean, it didn't stop me, but I could start feeling things going just awry immediately after that drink. It was just hard left.
The one I had the hardest time with was the beer. Just it's a lot of beer.
And it bloats you up
after you've been having some cocktails and some lighter drinks. To go and have a hearty ale was.
What I really liked is the bottle of rosé to close off the 10. Right, that was really what.
Or the Jello shots.
The Jello shots too were really good. There's a lot of them extra ones lying around here that we sucked up.
Oh man. No Pinder today. It's the teachers' convention. So the kids are out of school. He has a couple of them apparently, and is going to be with them. So that's what he's up to today.
All those teachers go downtown. The convention's downtown. They just get pissed up at lunch, and they just have a great time. You just see them. They're at this convention for whatever, an hour or two, and then they just go and just run up bar tabs and get piled for 2 days.
Look at this teacher.
See, I was going to say, now, Croner, you're in the community. You've got your regular job, doing something of whatever,
right?
Yep. But you're still giving back. This was how long ago was this? Look at you.
A couple weeks ago, there was snow on the ground. This was in Airdrie. I'm a very animated reader. I'm a good reader.
Yeah.
And I can really captivate an audience.
I love that picture.
Well, I think that teacher was trying to make us say Oilers. And I was having enough. I had enough of it.
Yeah.
I had enough. I put my foot down, and I was basically indoctrinating these kids.
So what was your, for those that are just listening, there's Croner reading to some young children.
Yeah, it's like reading day. Yeah. Something like that, right?
What are you reading?
And there was a book with no pictures that I had to read whatever it said. And the kids thought it was pretty funny. The teacher put it in there that, I love the Oilers. He was just, he was like that.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, so funny. And then, went around to classroom, read 2 or 3 books. And the kids were very excited. I was very excited. I had to give one a little bit of say, hey, settle down here. I'm reading. Listen here, big guy. Right?
Hey, shut the fuck up.
Right. Settle down, kiddo. I'm in the chair here right now, not you.
Yeah. And
you will do what I say, and you shut your pie hole.
Right.
I got lots of good shit to say.
Yeah, that's how that
Ask me for life advice, too. I'll give you some.
Now, did you know Rhett is a big reader?
Of what? What's your favorite novel?
My favorite novel, Confederacy of Dunces.
Whoa, that's over my head.
It was a book.
Rhett can finish a book like that.
Really?
I can't. It's my brain, how it works. I just can't, because it'll be, I'll start reading the book, and then about 3 sentences in,
yeah,
So I wonder what I'll do on the weekend. Am I going to, and your eyes are still going all the way down the page. Like, did I put that thing away? I wonder, should get a new toaster. I'm tired. The toaster doesn't really work on the one side. It's always burnt on one side and not on the other. And where's my phone? Did I get my phone? Fuck. And then you have to go back and start reading all over again. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Warner has unbelievable. Now I'm assuming, because you go from the start of the book to the end of the book very quickly, I'm assuming you're retaining what you're reading, but you are a very good reader.
I do read.
Did you read on the bus or the plane?
I read Confederacy of Dunces. I remember the bookstore. I was on Elmwood Avenue in Buffalo, New York when I bought that book. So I read it on the plane. Yeah. Well, and we got to remember back in the day that there was no, like, I'm playing junior in Saskatoon. We had our own bus, but then they had TVs. There was 2 of them, but they were.
And then you hit a bump, and then the DVD would skip, and then it would redo the whole thing, and then it would suck.
Well, we didn't have DVDs even, I don't think.
Right.
I think it was VHS at the time. So, and even Starter Pro, there was no computers or handheld devices. So playing in Florida, you had 2.5-hour flights everywhere. So some Cosmos and some books.
Yeah. So now, Retro, you, as we all know, you're living away from Calgary right now. When's the last time you've seen at B-Cron 3-Cron? Do you miss our boy here?
Always. I'm always checking in on him because I want him to stay out of trouble. I make sure that he's got things going in the right direction. He looks good right now. So
2 feet firmly planted on the ground.
Yeah.
Right. I do remember last time I saw you, we were at the Flames hockey camp, and that's the day you told me that you moved to Buffalo. And you said you're on your own for the last scoop session because I'm moving. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Where are you moving? To Buffalo. When are you moving? This afternoon at 2 o'clock.
I'm leaving now. I got to have to skip out early here. You got this?
Yes.
Okay. Where are you headed? Buffalo.
Good. Great.
Yeah. What do you got?
What are you doing there?
No.
Living?
Yeah. Perfect. Good seeing you.
Now, we're joking about this. That's what happened.
Exactly what happened. Yes. And I thought you were joking, but obviously you weren't.
Rhett, you were involved with the hockey school for the alumni. And one day you just told them, I'm going to need you to do the rest of the stuff today because I'm leaving. And actually for the rest of the week and the rest of the camp, oh, where are you going? I'm moving to Buffalo. Is that more or less how that went?
Buffalo. Let's spend a winter in Buffalo and see what it's like.
Right.
That's exactly how it went. I don't feel too bad because I think I did a good job of organizing or helping.
You know what you did, and I have to say the program did change a little because we had Jamie McCowan come in and Colin Patterson, and the whole dynamic of it just changed. It was just bag skates for the kids. It was, crushers. What are you going to do with the guys today? Oh, I got on the goal line. Skate until we figure out the next drill. Boom, boom, boom. And the parents are just loving it, too. It's great. Kids are dog tired.
Yeah.
Crushed them.
Doing the horseshoe, mountain climbers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was like my childhood being skated by guys that didn't know what they were doing. It's just going to bag the shit out of you, you stupid kid.
Just a couple old drunks on the ice yelling at the kids. It's really well thought of.
Yeah.
Real good.
Water bottles full of whiskey, swish it around. Why does your breath smell? Shut up. Let's get another lap.
We're here in the Tower Chrysler studios. I'll have, because of course, Serge and everybody down at Tower Chrysler, they take good care of us. Tower Chrysler studios here in the city of Calgary. A little bit later on, when we do Ask Rhett, there is a Tower Chrysler kind of a
twist
angle to it, and I'll explain later. But you have some splaining to do. Retro is what it's going to come down to. Just hope you're ready for that. Ask Rhett for Hope Street coming up in a little bit. We have a game today. It's a Flames game day. Get your helmet on, Croner. The Red Wings are in town. It was a week ago today, in fact, that the Detroit Red Wings beat the Calgary Flames 2-1 at Little Caesars Arena. The following day, we came on and basically said the Flames franchise needs to fold and maybe play till the end of the season, but probably best they just wrap it up at the end of the month. We were quite down on the fortunes of this hockey club. Is that fair, Retro? That was a tough one.
I think it was, that's a fair assessment. They were never going to win again, and they've done a piss poor job of existing, was basically the gist of it. Yeah.
Can't wait for tonight.
Yeah, big game. They haven't done much better since.
Can't wait for the rematch. Well, what happened after that? They did go and they played well, and then not so well, and then there was Ottawa where they probably deserved the win. You had that lead, 2-goal lead, late third period. Hang on to that for sure. The Red Wings were in Edmonton last night. They defeated the Oilers in a shootout. Looking at their records, this was one of those ones coming into the month. Well, who are the teams you need to beat if you're the Flames? Those teams that are maybe below you in the standings. The Flames have 25 wins. The Red Wings have 25 wins. That list of teams below you in standing is getting smaller.
Wow. That's brutal. I didn't know that. I didn't know they were that close because the Flames are in a playoff spot, but to be tied with the Red Wings. Ugh.
4-game win streak.
The Flames are in a spot based on I think the Flames are in a playoff spot. Again, I'm going to feel like I'm ripping on them again because the rest of the West is not that good.
It's garbage. Yeah. They're not even that far behind Vegas. I mean, essentially, I think they're 6 or 7 points behind them, and you're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, it's not which is why it's hard. People listen to the show and they're like, why are you guys so hard? Like they're right on the cusp of a playoff spot. If they get a save here or a goal there, they're probably in good shape. And you're like, I know, but they play like crap. Like they lose to Columbus, Chicago, Ottawa. I can't figure them out. What are you?
And the whole, no matter if they're playing well, the whole game is still, you're not sure if it's going to go right or wrong. Like there's just one thing goes wrong and the whole house of cards just comes collapsing to the ground. Markstrom will let in a bad goal, miss D-zone coverage. Hanifin will pass the pizza up the middle. It's just, my Lord, there's no trust in this team whatsoever.
Hey, have you ever seen defensemen play 2-on-1s worse? I mean, I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but it's embarrassing.
It's awful. It's almost like you know what's going in. You can pass across, no problem, one-timer in the net. The time they give Markstrom the shot, it goes short side or through his 5-hole. It's like nobody can do their job properly.
If you had the answers, you should be working at the Dome and being paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
But being that for your life as a goaltender, what are you seeing with Jacob Markstrom? Everyone's different. We don't know what's going on in here. He seems to be a guy that he's not injured. He seems physically very capable to play better, but he is not. The winner in overtime was atrocious. It just can't go in. What's happening the way you see it with Markstrom this year or even just the last month or so?
Well, it's between the years. And for his size, he looks so small, so you can tell he's got absolutely zero confidence. This guy can't play a huge boatload of games. He can't. He is moving into the realm of being a 1A, 1B guy. And I know that they're paying him like a number one guy, but he cannot handle the pressure. Like he really can't. It's just crazy. Anytime they need one save, he can't make it. The Flames finally turn the corner and they're playing well and a bad goal goes in. Or right off the start, they're fragile and they're down 2-0 before they can even figure out the hockey game has even started. And he's chasing pucks. He's small. He's getting mad. And I know he's an emotional goaltender, but you can see his emotion just emanating from him. And when he skates on the ice, there's zero confidence. I don't know what's going on with him, but I don't think he's this bad, but I don't think the other side, he's not as good as we think he is too. I think he's more of a middle of the pack guy.
That's been my I don't know if it was beef. The last little bit is trying to go back over the course of his career, because the complaint was, well, you can't play him too much because if you play him too much, he gets tired. He doesn't play as well. And
gets injured too.
Okay, well, yeah, that's fine, I guess. But I don't think that's the problem. I don't think it's games played. I think it's he can't handle pressure situations. And I haven't done a deep dive into it, and I won't because I'm lazy. But I guarantee you go look through his career, he hasn't led his team into the promised land ever, or taken him deep, or carried him on his back. It's always been, he played too much, so he's tired, and then he gives up bad goals, and he's no good anymore. I'm like, no, that's not it. Because he's not playing too much. He's had plenty of rest. He can't handle pressure.
Well, and he doesn't have a number one mentality. You know, I think he's looking for a break. I said, you've played with some of the best goaltenders on the planet, Rhett. And you know, Hasek wanted to be in the net every night. Kiprusoff wanted to be in the net every night. And even if they had a bad game, you knew it's like, he's fine. With Markstrom, he steps on the ice, he's got a bad goal, he's not fine. He makes a save and he looks weird, it's not fine. There's nothing fine about him. He can't seem to get over that hump of that starter mentality. That's always, for me, when I played, that was always a hard thing for me to do, because when I didn't think about it, like if I didn't put any pressure on myself, I just went out and played. I remember Ryan McGill played me like 21 straight games, and he called me into the office. He's like, you need to fucking figure this out. He goes, you have the talent to do this, but you need to string a couple games going. He says, you're playing every game down the stretch, so fucking get going, or you're shit or get off the pot. Let's figure it out. And I think I played 19 of 21. And after a while, I mean, that didn't happen throughout my whole career, but it's a mentality. And I just don't think Markstrom has that number one mentality. I think he's a guy that can get streaky. He can play well. He's super talented. He's had a few good playoff series. He's done well at the tail end of his career in Vancouver. He looked like he could do it. But every time he's been on that stage to prove it, like last year, he was only good the first half of the season last year, right? He was lights out. He was stealing games for him. And then he tapered off and kind of settled down. And then he was garbage against the Oilers. He played phenomenal against Dallas, which I was shocked, because that's a very tough position for a goaltender to be in when Ottinger is stealing the show every single night for Dallas. You know that you have to make one or two saves at the key time, and he was able to do that. And then he jumps into an even more pressure-packed situation, and he completely melts.
It's going to, whatever you want to call them now, 1A, 1B, that's got to be the way it's going to be, I think, moving forward. We are led to believe it will be Dan Vladar in the net tonight against the Detroit Red Wings. And Sutter was asked about it yesterday, because earlier this season he talked about Markstrom's going to play and we'll try and get Vladar in once a week, you know, how that math was going to work itself out. And he said yesterday that they had to, they adjusted that. They did a deep dive, or they dug in on it and adjusted it. And they found that the goalies have been streaky, and they have been. At the start of the year, Markstrom was good, and then he tailed off, and then Vladar came in, and he doesn't get as much rope, obviously, as Markstrom does. But I think moving forward now, because of how precarious the spot is for them, Vladar goes tonight, you win, you keep rolling, you start to sag. All right, Jacob, here's your turn. I think we're officially past the starter backup situation, at least for this year, with Markstrom and Vladar.
I hope so. I figured Markstrom would start against the Rangers after the All-Star break. That was a no-brainer. I didn't expect him to go back in against Detroit and then start in Buffalo and then play Monday against Ottawa. I didn't see that coming right out of the gate either. Markstrom hasn't played phenomenal. Now Vladar gets a chance. You just hope that he can take advantage of it. Now, maybe something said to him, hey, this is going to be your net. I don't think that they have done that yet. He hasn't proven that he's been a long-term solution, but he's got to get an opportunity somewhere. And as long as Markstrom keeps tripping over himself, you got to stick with Vladar if he can play well enough to get you in.
It's never dull, right?
Well, I was thinking the other day too, and this might be stupid, but it's always dangerous when I get thinking. And I just say thinking, not
I like
drinking.
How this is starting. Yeah, it's good. I like it. Yeah.
Do you think maybe that they're playing the shit out of Markstrom because they want to get rid of him and they want to bring up somebody else because they got that big contract? I was just thinking out loud, you know, to myself downstairs in the basement with a bottle of wine. I'm like, maybe he can get on a roll and we can gas him and get somebody else. But I might be a little bit too far. That could be
the red wine. Yeah, the basement red wine.
The cab.
Yeah.
Out of a box. Yeah.
The cab.
It sounds like it's a reasonable thought, but the thing is, they're not in a position to
I know.
To not win games. And then if he is winning, well, he's the reason they're going to get in. So I think in the off season, absolutely, they're going to listen to all options, because I think that Wolf has played so well. But I keep saying, what is this team? Like, they're in a playoff spot. I think it's based on terrible play by other teams for the most part, but so they get in. I don't think they win a series because I think they end up probably right where they are now. I don't think they're catching Edmonton. So maybe Seattle or someone will start to crap themselves. So maybe they can do better, but I don't think they beat a top team like Vegas or Dallas in a playoff series. And God forbid they don't make the playoffs. What are you left with if you don't make the playoffs this year? Do you completely retool again, or are you comfortable going into next year with the same group that has struggled so much? Like, I have no clue. I know what my philosophy would be, but I don't know what's going to happen.
This team flip-flops every year, though, too. One year they're really good and they get in and everything goes right, and the next year they're just dog shit with the same people. And as a GM, I don't know what you do there, because the answer should be in that room. You have a talented enough dressing room. You do, you'd think. But once this year's supposed to be their off year. So now they're shit this year. Now what are we supposed to do next year?
Yeah, I think you'll be left with what you can do given the amount of cap space you have and debt money already spent.
Right.
I think that you're gonna. I mean, Oliver Shillington, you're gonna have to replace him. That is not does not appear like it's going to come to any kind of a solution. Those 2 new extensions kick in, and that's what everybody. Oh, the Lucic money. It's spent.
It's gone.
That and more is spent. It's long gone. So I don't know. I don't know how because we've ripped them so hard here the last week. I get home, or I get in my vehicle, get in the Nation Jeep, and I drive. Were we fair? Were we
right?
Or were we just kind of wound up and Rhett got going, and then I got going. Yeah, you're right, Rhett. We all just kind of pile on. You look at the number of, and I don't think that's the case. I think we're right, as you said, Rhett.
Good.
I think we're right. But you look at the regulation losses. They have 18 of them. So does Seattle. So do the Kings. So does Vegas. Colorado has 19. The Jets have 19 regulation losses. And all of these over extra time single points, if you get half of those, do we view this, even if the games are this is kind of the same games, not even saying they get the extra goal in regulation, but some of these shootouts or overtimes are spun the other way. Are we looking at them differently, even though they still are what they are, but their record is better?
You have to look at them differently because they're making the saves when you need it, right? So take the Ottawa game. To get that extra point, Markstrom has to make a save. So you go, oh, good on you. I think at 3-1 with 2 minutes left, we were all going to come on. You and I did the show after the game. We were ready to come on and go, great job by Markstrom there. I mean, he shut the door. He gave up the breakaway goal, but, for the most part, he battled and made some good saves. What a game to build off of. Great job at the end of a trip. You're ready to give them up. Then they give up 3 goals. Right? In 5 minutes of hockey. Right? One from an angle. One he loses on a rebound. He loses the rebound. The second one is from the goal line, and you give credit to Brinkhead for making the shot, but still, I'm like, if I'm out there as a defender in the last minute of a game, that's the shot I want.
You're leaving it.
Okay. Well, if he's going to shoot it from there, that's the one, right? Like, that's the one you give him. And the third goal in overtime is terrible. So,
it's awful.
Yeah, everything could change, and we would give more praise if they had more of those points. But that's because they would have made those plays, and they're not. I mean, Dubé's coming along. Coleman's been okay. Backlund skates by the whole every season Michael Backlund's ever played. He has been okay, except for the one where it was him, Tkachuk, and Frolik, and you're like, holy, this is phenomenal. These guys are awesome. And then they split him up again. And other than that, every season Michael Backlund's ever played has been like, yeah, he's pretty good. He's okay. But he never takes the team on his back. I think
forgettable too. It's like
terrible. Kadri has been fine, but a lot of their players, Mangiapane was no good for a long time. So, I mean, you've got a lot of reason to be down. And the other thing I was going to get to is, how do you think they're talking about Minnesota right now? Do you think that the media in Minnesota is like, man, they're right there. This has been great. They got 28 wins, and I mean, it's really good. They're tight. They got to just pull it. They're ripping them as well because Minnesota is expected to be in the playoffs. Calgary's not supposed to be fighting for a last-ditch spot in the standings, right? Like, that's not what we're being sold. It's not where they are in the rotation of a team as far as age and salary, right? They're a veteran team with a high salary cap. You're supposed to be performing if that's what you have, right? It's not like you got a bunch of young kids just coming in trying to find their way. This is a team that's supposed to be poised as a. I mean, did they win the whole conference last year?
Oh boy, that's so long ago.
Couple. No, and there's so much to it, and we can move on because I don't want to. That's the other thing I'm conscious of. I don't want to do the same show day after day after day.
No.
Just be better tonight. The goaltending has to be better, and I don't know. It took me a long time to come around because I had said here, I'd be talking. You watch the games, and Markstrom seems like he's playing well. He's making some really great saves a lot of nights, and then you start to look at, well, you're +7 goals for and against, and your goals for aren't as terrible maybe as we think they are. A lot of nights, the floodgates open and they get 5 or 7. But then there's the nights they get 2. But I don't know
everything.
I don't think.
Yeah, average.
I don't think they're as offensively challenged as maybe.
But you know, they talk about shots too, though, Boomer. Like, oh, hey, they get a ton of shots. We don't, and we don't give up a ton of shots. But the volume of shots isn't that big of a deal. It's quality. It's like they give up scoring chances, and then you know, Marks will make like 2 or 3 amazing saves, and then he'll let in just bad ones. The ones that he's supposed to stop, he lets in. And he mixes in a bunch of odd ones. And that team just throws pucks to the net for the most part, right? You look at them, they get a ton of shots to go to the net, but they're not like – Toffoli's got some nice ones. He's picked some corners, a goal scorer's goal. But it's a lot of junk. It's a lot of just throwing pucks to the net and seeing what happens and trying to beat teams 2-1. And that's fine if you're conditioned to win close games. And the Flames have been in so many close games this season. Everybody talks, well, you know, it's playoff hockey, close hockey. But it doesn't only matters if you win those, right? Your goalie needs to make saves. Guys need to bear down. It's a full team effort, but it sucks when your goalie's struggling, limping along, and it's really hard to watch.
Tonight, Afterburner with myself and I think Brent Krahn.
I'm coming. I can't wait.
Are you excited?
So excited? I'm very excited.
Now, when you say you're coming, where are you going?
On my couch, but I'll be on the screen for everybody to view. Yes, I'll be there.
Do we have the proper equipment for you to? Okay.
We don't. I do have a camera though. You told me to buy stuff, and I said I would absolutely get on it that night. And I just told you today that I didn't do any of that stuff, and it's it's coming now. But
it's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Frankly, it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll figure out something for Afterburner.
You're used to living with broken promises from people that you trust.
Yeah. Just broken hearts.
Yeah.
Just broken hearts. So Afterburner tonight, we will be going live on the Facebook and the YouTubes and the Twitters and all of that. So here's hoping. Our record is not very good, Croner. We do this show on school nights.
Yep.
There's a lot of losses. It's a lot of losses, buddy.
Well, they'll turn the tide tonight. I'm very confident in this hockey club. After everything that we've said today,
I feel better now.
I feel better. They're just going to turn it around.
Everything should be positive.
Says it's going to be better.
Yeah.
That's
real
good.
But then, wait, can I bring up one thing that's it's a fly in the ointment?
Oh.
It's the first game back.
I know. After a long road trip.
First game back after a long road trip.
No legs.
I don't know.
That first period might be a little
optional skate this morning. It was an optional, so don't worry about it. It's all good. Vladar in net, lines stay the same, and a bit of an update coming up in just a moment. So for tonight, this game, this hotly anticipated game, we have sent a winner courtesy of Mad Rose Pub throughout the entire season. Mad Rose Pub is our ticket hookup for you, the Barn Burner viewer and listener. Tonight, in the Mad Rose Pub seats at the Dome, it'll be Carson Anklowitz.
Anklowitz.
Old Anklowitz.
Isn't that a dinosaur?
Did I say Cameron or Carson? I can't read my writing. Cameron, I believe. Cam is going to the game tonight. Thanks to Matt and everybody at Mad Rose Pub. Next chance to win tickets. We got 2 more here in this little homestand, so we'll be kicking another pair out the door right quick. But congrats to Cameron on winning these tickets tonight.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Big tilt.
Have you been to Mad Rose Pub?
You know what? I went one day and it was closed because it was like a holiday day. I think it was New Year's Day.
I'm going to take you.
Yeah, you should. I'd love to go.
Don't you live in that
neck of the woods
sector?
I do.
Of the city?
They have pizza there, don't they?
They do.
I know. It looks really good. I'm staring at it right now, and I'd like a giant wheel to stuff my face with. I really
you know when they make the sauce and the dough?
Yeah.
Fresh every day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm excited. You're taking me?
Yeah, I'll take you.
Good.
Or I'll meet you.
Yeah. You don't have to come pick me up.
Don't count
Then
on it.
then I can leave.
I'll Uber there.
I'll drive.
Can we sit down and eat, or does it take out?
No, we'll sit down. It's
Good.
nice up there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's real nice up there. I'll be doing the Pinder report in a moment, but part of, and again, it's applicable to the game tonight. It's the McLeod Law injury report, and it's looking like the injury report. Some good news, courtesy of McLeod Law, as Rasmus Andersson skated in full today. Now optional, but skated, left. The extras stayed on for extra work. The presumed scratches. It's believed that Rasmus Andersson back in the lineup tonight.
Jeez.
So that is great injury news as it
was hit by a car.
Hit by a truck.
Jeez.
You ever been hit by a truck or a car?
Can't say that I have. No.
Oh, I have.
Yeah.
Hey, Rhett.
Have you, Dean?
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to hear
I
it.
think that's why my hip is all buggered.
Yeah, really?
That's why you can't walk,
Yeah.
right?
That's why I'm hunched over and I got a hitch in my giddy up.
Oh, I see that right now.
You know, kind of thing.
The closest I've been to getting hit by a car is watching my friend run into the side of a limousine trying to catch a football, and the car was stationary. That's about as close as I've come to.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Was it an errant throw or just?
It was a bomb actually, and he didn't pick his head up. We were in Dallas watching a Cowboys game, and he ran straight into the side of the.
Who is this person?
I used to work with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Dallas?
Yeah. Well, we were in Calgary. I was done playing hockey, and we went on
I
a
see.
trip down there.
I got
Had a little bit of fun.
As far as Rasmus Andersson concerned, Retro, not insignificant. We've talked a lot about Tanev, and the record kind of speaks for itself. Rasmus doesn't, I think, get enough credit for the minutes and the role that he plays. He's consistently the top minute eater for the team, forward or defense. His points are pretty much always better than we recall, and probably most importantly, that power play, which has not been very good at all this year, really struggles without him, as he's the guy on the point to try and get that thing going. So good news for old Ras. And I mean, beyond that, beyond the hockey thing, guy got hit by a truck.
Yeah. We use that analogy all the time, but I never really actually get hit by a truck. I feel like I've been hit by a truck, but
yeah, he felt
got
like
hit
he
by a
got
truck.
hit by because he got hit by a truck.
yeah.
I wonder what would happen to the three of us if we were struck by a pickup of any sort. Would we bounce
Well,
back?
for starters, I'd have a hard time on the scooter because I'd probably be falling off the thing to begin with. There's got to be some coordination. I've not scootered a ton, so I think probably there's going to be a scooter injury, more self-inflicted than being hit by the truck.
I think I'd be okay.
Yeah? Well, you're very bendy.
I am bendy. I bounce back
Yeah.
really quick too. I'm used to being injured, so I have an injured mentality, so I can just I can deal with it quicker than most.
Well, maybe you need a
Mental
personal
fortitude.
injury lawyer. If you ever need someone to take, be side by side with you and be there on your behalf, take that stress off of your shoulders. Personal injury lawyers will help you navigate your legal, your insurance, and your medical claims. Extensive years and years of experience in just this field. There you see Peter Klein. I do my best to give some help to the helpless and hope to the hopeless. Great guy. Peter Klein, P. Klein with a C, P. Klein at McLeod-Law.com. And the number, you can see it there. You can give a ring, 403-254-3864. Glasses. So bad. But great people over at McLeod Law. That will suffice for our injury report today. Some great news, both hockey-related and life-related for Rasmus Andersson. God, that's been scary.
That would have been terrifying. I can't imagine. You're probably even paying attention, right? And the truck just comes out of nowhere. Like, I didn't hear this story. I just heard he got hit by a truck. Is there more to it? Like,
Oh, and you'd want a piece of the guy.
yeah, absolutely.
Who just hit me?
Yeah,
I'm on a bloody scooter. What the H?
right. You might need to start wearing chaps and like leather jackets when you go bombing around on scooters, just so you don't get road rash, right? Like, it's like a motorcycle.
Like you in the sidecar with Joey Juno.
Yeah, I had my
the
chaps
skull
on
cap.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Maybe. I don't know. Just throwing it out there, right? We've got to keep people safe.
Cale Makar, well, again, with the injury report, that's going to do it. But Cale Makar still isn't playing.
What's wrong with him?
He got hit in the jaw by
Faker.
Yeah.
Jeff Carter. Kind of give him one of these, and he was skating by. Oh, hey, did I get you? Jonathan Taves put on the IR. He has a non-COVID related illness. He's kind of been one of those guys, maybe everyone's talking Patrick Kane, maybe Jonathan Toews, maybe off to Winnipeg, maybe a guy in the trade. Remember, he missed the entire season because he had some kind of a illness that he just could not get himself back to where he needed to be. So hopefully that is nothing serious. But think they'd like that in Winnipeg? Old Johnny Toews coming back.
They'd love it.
Oh boy,
The town would be set ablaze.
Would take Shovel Day off to actually do something, but
yeah. But it'd be great for everybody involved.
You want to do the Pinder report?
Yes, I'd love to.
I don't really have it. I'll have to do it. I didn't really write it out for you. I've cobbled it together, but
I scratched some things together myself last night in case you asked me this very question.
Okay, standing by, Brent Krahn with the Pinder report.
Scratching and
it's
cobbling.
for Village Honda. That's right, a little cobbling, delicious. Get ready for the all-new 2023 Honda Accord. The all-new generation redefines sophistication with sleek styling. Available features like Google built-in, spirited hybrid powertrain. They are pumped. It'll be in any day. Village Honda, Northwest Auto Mall, your dealership for life as we get into the Pinder report.
This was my very first car. It was a Honda Accord.
Was it really?
Yes, it was a white Honda Accord. I bought it in Winkler, Manitoba.
It's probably still going.
It's still going.
My first car might have been a Honda Accord.
Reliable.
Well.
Yeah, unbelievable. A great jam too. If you put the pedal to the metal on that thing, it was awesome. You
Standard?
just fly.
You just dump the clutch?
No standard. Automatic. I'm a simple man.
Mine was a standard, and they could steal it with. They could start it with, anything. A
Screwdriver?
fingernail.
Yeah, just kind of. We don't condone that.
No.
Yeah. We talked about the game. Flames, Wings tonight. Wings victorious from last night. They've been on a bit of a roll here. They won 4 in a row. Ville Husso has been terrific. He's made 5 straight saves. He's been very good against the Flames. Will he go back-to-back? If not, it is Magnus Hellberg.
Look out. With a name like that, you know he's good.
He's got to be good. Yeah. You better be good when you're Magnus Hellberg. So that's the story there. And we do believe Rasmus Andersson will be in, and Vladar will get the start in net. So that's the scoop. Afterburner, you and me tonight.
You and I.
Potentially. NHL from last night. The Colorado Avalanche, you mentioned Minnesota, and I saved it till now retro. You said, what do you think? Everything's just flying, everything's all loosey-goosey, all great in Minnesota? Not so much. Colorado defeats Minnesota 3-2. Does this sound familiar? Minnesota, Dean Evison afterwards said, I like the way we played, felt like we deserved a better fate, outshot the Avs 43-19, lose 3-2, Wild have lost 5 of their last 6.
This is just me being sensitive, but every time, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but anytime a coach comes out and says, hey, I thought we deserved to win tonight, could have been this, outshot the team, it's usually a passive aggressive little shot at the goaltender that you only had 19 shots, you let 3 goals.
That's
right?
Kind of true. Yeah.
Right.
I don't think
and
that's you as a goaltender being oversensitive. I think that's,
no. Okay, good. That's what I was picking up on. And you've seen Fleury this season too, breaking sticks over the crossbar. He's jovial. He likes to be funny and goofy on the ice and does stupid shit all the time, and it pisses me off. He doesn't do any of that stuff now. He's just breaking sticks and losing his marbles and throwing his hands in the air like.
So you're happy now? So which makes you happy? You should be happy now that he's not.
I'm happy now he's miserable.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. Because when he's smiling and skating around the ice, it just drives me nuts.
You're happy.
He's miserable.
That he's
kind of jerks smiling and laughing about this.
Enjoying the
hockey.
game.
Treat it seriously, Marc-Andre. Yeah. Come on.
Stop smiling. I ran into him at the Kachina when Minnesota was here playing against Calgary. And I wheeled right up to him and I said, hey, Mark, I'm not sure if you remember me, but you played one of your first American Hockey League games against me in Wilkes-Barre. I beat you myself 5-3.
And what was his response?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Security.
Yeah, I don't remember who you are. You've obviously you can't have been a hockey player. I can see you now. You look terrible.
Why are you drinking red wine out of that box?
You're spitting on me. Please stop. Your teeth are red. Go home.
The New York Rangers, they continue to roll. It's now 6 in a row for the Rangers. They beat Vancouver 6-4. Hockey's fun. Hockey's fun for that. You talk about you got to have more fun. You'd hate the Rangers right now because they're having a friggin' ball.
That barn is on fire too. They just sing that song after every time they score a goal, and it's just bumping. And you got Shesterkin back there too.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad little pickup.
Yeah, decent.
Yeah.
Austin Matthews back for the Leafs. He scores. They beat Chicago. Chicago's having a tough go. But let's talk about the wild card situation. We kind of come back to it. With all the moaning and pissing and whining that you hear on this show, the Calgary Flames find themselves mathematically in a playoff spot. Minnesota played a game last night. The Flames did not. There you see it. Tied in points percentage are the Wild and the Flames. They've played 54 games. They play each other coming up twice in about a 4 or 5 day span in early March. Proverbial 4-point games. Big matchups.
Yeah.
So ordinarily you'd be like, I don't know, the Wild, are we going to go see the Wild? You might want to be taking in the Flames and the Wild here when they play in a few weeks.
Because those used to be boring games to go watch.
Yeah, kind
They
of.
were really bad.
Yeah.
And now it's
playing for a long time.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
Like you had Backstrom and net for Minnesota, and it was always like a 2-1 sleeper, and it was like, oh, it's the Minnesota Wild. Ugh, this is gross. But now
they deserve a better fate.
they do.
That's where they're at. We'll move on. Like the trade deadline coming up, rumors, innuendo, and all of that. Darren Dreger, good guy on TSN radio out, I think in Montreal, was talking about Josh Anderson, the big forward of the Montreal Canadiens. He says this is probably not new because Brad Treliving has coveted this guy for a long time, but he continues to covet Hab forward Josh Anderson. He was potentially a Flame when he was a Blue Jacket before he even got injured. So yeah, this one's been in the Treliving backpack for a while, but the cost, as Dreger had said on the radio hit, he said, if Jacob Pelche is in that trade, that would probably get their attention. He is
Sweeten the pot.
He is French Canadian. They seem to like those in Montreal. Any deal? Have you seen enough out of Jacob Pelche that's a non-starter for you, Rhett? If that's,
I've seen enough out of Josh Anderson. I think he's a decent enough player when he's healthy. I just don't rely on him being healthy all the time, and I'd rather give Pelche the runway than bring in another veteran. I mean, it's the problem I think the Flames have done a lot, and it hasn't always been guys they've picked, but they've moved a lot of picks and haven't stocked the cupboards as much as they could have by going out and getting guys like that.
And it's funny with Pelche because the story came out, and I think people know this story. It was going back to whatever year it was, 2019, at the trade deadline. Zucker was in Minnesota, eventually goes on to Pittsburgh. The Flames had a deal done involving a first-round pick and Michael Frolik, but there was a bit of a communication snafu. They couldn't get a hold of the powers that be, aka the owner, to run the deal, or just to kind of, so Zucker to Calgary fell through the cracks. The first-round pick that was going to Minnesota, the Flames kept and used to select Jacob Pelche.
Wow. That little nugget of information.
Yeah.
Did the owner did not check his fax machine at night, or what happened there?
I don't know. Maybe he was up in the air.
Yeah.
Private jetting off somewhere.
And a bird.
Bunch of babes all around.
Crushing it.
Drinking that rosé.
All day.
Right?
Oh, I hate that saying.
Some sad news coming from, it's the Omaha Mavericks NCAA men's hockey team. Paul Gerard passing away at the age of 57. If the name rings a bell, it's because Paul Gerard was a assistant coach with the Calgary Flames over 2 years, 2016 to 18. He was with Glenn Gulutzan for his 2-year stint, was also in Dallas with Gulutzan there when he was the head coach. Had a long-term battle with cancer and passed away, as you see there, at the age of 57. And you, before we started, did you hear about Gerard? Just he's a terrific guy. Did you have any kind of not run-ins, any interaction with him? It was kind of, yeah.
I'm sure I said hi to him once or twice, but no, I don't think we ever really crossed paths. So that's the shits.
Yeah,
I love that guy. He was awesome. I had him for 2 years in the minors when Gully and Paulie were down there. And Paulie was crazy. he had such a personality, and you didn't get, he was kind of standoffish at the start, and then he'd be kind of sarcastic, and he'd be giving guys shots, and he was just having a good time. And once you got to know him, and guys loved him. Coming to the rink, he was smiling. You have a bad day or bad game, he'd come up to you, and he'd always just say the right thing. He understood the players he worked with really well, and he always had a tremendous amount of respect from, the big club senior management, from the players to the training staff to everybody. He was an all-around good guy, and we made it to the Calder Cup final one year against Hershey, and families were always a very big part of everything that we did. He's got two daughters and great wife, and that's just when I saw that this morning too, I texted some of my Texas Stars buddies that I played with, and had you heard the news, because he's young, 57 years old. Yeah. Fucking sucks.
Thoughts going out to the Girard family, obviously, on that one. Still with hockey, and I guess rumor innuendo, Pierre Dorion of the Ottawa Senators says he is not trading Alex DeBrincat. Now, DeBrincat scored a goal the other night, you may recall. And Pinder earlier on in the day said, "What's up with DeBrincat? Kind of an off year." 18 goals and 44 points in 53 games. He, of course, came over from Chicago. That was one of those moves that just almost felt like it was a shot at Patrick Kane, right? Those two were so good together, and then you take that guy away from him. He's an RFA. He's making $6.4 million. It's a lot of dough. He's going to get a raise. What's he worth? I don't know, but Dorion says he's keeping him. There are some other guys in Ottawa that potentially could be on the Derek Brassard or Travis Hamonic, potentially. But it feels like with Hamonic, there's always something
There's always something going on. There's more to it.
He'll only play in certain spots. And I don't pretend, I'm not going to say, it's whatever, but did say, oddly enough, if he could add on the back end, he would do it. But I think that's probably more of a full, big screen look, long-term macro picture, as opposed to micro. Yeah. Last couple of things here inside the Pinder report. Tomorrow night at 11 p.m., the 50-50 draw that's being put on right now, the Edmonton Oiler Community Foundation, along with the Stollery Children's Hospital in Edmonton, they've been running this. It's kind of a province-wide and Alberta-wide. They're calling it a mega 50-50 draw, and it is in memory and in support of young Oiler fan Ben Stelter. There's the Ben Stelter Fund, and of course the Stollery Children's Hospital is it's an unbelievable place. Miracles literally happen there, and they're inviting, obviously, they want everybody to get in. They invited Flames fans and everybody in Calgary and throughout the province to jump in and support this cause. You can do so. You'll find it on the Oilers website. If you can get yourself past, just type it in, you find it. But you go to the link, and I looked at it this morning, and there's a bunch of different things that, in addition to the cash prize, they've got different prizes, but the pot is already over $2.5 million. Edmonton likes them a 50-50.
You jump on those every chance you get. They can
love
crush
them.
It up there.
So that one ends at 11 p.m. If it's 2.5 now, you feel it's probably double by the time we get to tomorrow night. But the most important part is great causes, both of those. And young Benny, what a great kid. Love that kid. So Flames fans, always fun when you see that sometimes. Come out and support the opposition. That'd be cool to jump in on that if you can. Chiefs had their Super Bowl parade yesterday. I don't know who was Ovechkin kind of the first guy to say. Jonathan Quick was really drunk when the Kings had their parade and their big kind of fan thing. Patrick Mahomes went to Disneyland. Remember, they always do that the day after. Yeah, I'm going to Disney World or Disneyland or whatever it is. So he was, did media, had to go to Disneyland. Didn't have a whole lot of time to party. He's found time to party in the last 24 hours. This is him. They have those kind of the buses or whatever they are. You can roll it there. Old Mahomes, good, but he's in one. It's kind of whoa, oh, hey, whoa, now, oh, yeah. I'm just gonna kill this one. Yeah. Whammo.
He doesn't look. He couldn't keep up with us, Croner.
Not a chance. Is that light beer?
There were a few videos swirling around. Speaking of Patrick Kane, remember when he was on the back of the bus? Like, didn't he puke off the back of the bus?
I think so. What else you gonna do though, right? I mean, you gotta.
You're supposed
let
to.
him have fun.
Come on.
Right?
Exactly.
Give her.
Oh, I slammed that down. And that beer looked like it was half drank too. You know, there was still lots
That's
of
what I
fluid
picked up
coming out of
on.
that. Yeah.
Finish your
I've done
beer.
that before.
Ah, I love this. It tastes gross. I hate it. Give me a Gatorade.
Yeah.
Need to hydrate.
There he is. What's he, about 170 pounds?
Soaking wet. Is he wearing a WWF championship belt?
Yeah, the
Damn right he
WWE
is.
always give a belt to the
Heavyweight champion of the
winners.
world?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a cowboy
that-
behind him. Look at that. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That belt's been used for a lot of things
Saddle
over
up.
the years too, in different circumstances.
And we will end the Pinder report. This, it finds its way into my inbox 2, 3, 4 times a year. It happened earlier this year. I was gonna play the thing, but I didn't. But then it showed up on social media. There is a fan. He's a professional fan. Sporting teams will bring in this guy to rev up the crowd, and he'll wear the jerseys, and you think you're just looking at some regular fan, but then it's like, oh, look at this guy. He's really something. I was asked on social media, is Boomer going to be back from Minnesota in time for the show? Son of a bitch.
Look at that guy clapping. And he just gets stood up for the high five, too. Watch him wheel down here. Look at it. High five. Buzz right by him. Another one here. Nope, no thanks.
Oh.
See you later. He doesn't care about the fans.
I'd love to be insulted about it, but it's a little uncanny, frankly. It's got the bald spot coming on the top.
Oh,
He's got the...
He's got no... There's no bum in those jeans. They look like they're just painted on and they're just struggling to stay up.
I think I've worn that shirt to Bull Bustin' in the Stampede.
Yeah.
I was not in Minnesota last night.
Look at him. Like, nobody cares, too. You know,
Well,
like, zero.
There's so many videos. There's so many videos of this guy, and unfortunately...
Does he have kids? What do they think of him when they see
we
this?
We look the same in every goddamn one of them. High five? You? Me? No? Hey? Left me hanging? Okay. Yeah. All right. Good times. Yeah. Big gulps. See you later. It's the Pinder report for Village Honda, your dealership for life. VillageHonda.com. The new CR-V Hybrid is in. The new Honda Passport Trail Sport is in. We mentioned the Accord. It's going to be in if it isn't already. All the reasons to go and check them out at the Northwest Auto Mall.
How much is this guy getting paid to do these events? Because like every team in the league's bringing this guy in to wind up the fans. Like, I thought that's what Harvey was for.
You'd think.
Well, you can see the crowd was really into it. It really did spark.
That one man gave him a standing ovation while he was doing it and got stood up twice for a high five. So,
hey, you guys know me? No, actually, we don't.
Not a clue.
No idea.
Yeah.
Surely you've seen me.
I think he started at the Team Canada stuff, World Junior stuff. I think that's where it
might
first
have.
began.
I don't know.
You have to be quite an athlete to do that stuff, though, too.
There's Harv.
Yeah, I can see
Put a
that.
shirt on. It's 2023.
Hey.
Get some clothes on, Harv.
Get a muscle shirt on or something like that.
Get us some clothes on. We're gonna get to Ask Rhett here momentarily. Hope Street. But first, want to remind you, Montana's Barbecue and Bar. Yesterday was Wednesday. All you can eat ribs. Monday, half price wings. Tuesday, you get your tacos for $5. Maybe you want you want the shrimp, you want the steak, you want the chicken. They have the comfort menu. They have daily deals. They are they're wanting to get you get you in there. They have I've kind of neglected to tell you because it's not really what they're stressing about all of this. They just want you to get out and have some fun with your friends. Enjoy a Molson Canadian with any of the items from the comfort food menu, and you could win a Molson beer fridge. Every location of Montana's has a beer fridge to give away. We were at the one at 130th. Beer fridge sitting right there when you walk in. Plus, there's a grand prize, a trip for 2 to the NHL Awards in Nashville. Visit montanas.ca, find the location nearest you, and go and hang out at Montana's. Plus, this week, we're going to run it until Sunday night. We have a $100 gift card to give away to one of you lucky devils to go and have some of that grub, there you see it. Go to the social media. So Sunday at 5 p.m. I think is when we're gonna wrap this thing up. Go to the Flames Nation account on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. Like the post. Make sure you're following both Montana's and Flames Nation. Tag a friend who you might be taking, and we'll pull the name out. And on Monday, which is actually Tuesday because of Family Day holiday, but on Tuesday we will announce the winner of the gift card to Montana's.
Can you still color on the
Yes,
napkins?
you can.
I remember going there and coloring. It was awesome.
Oh, the tan man. We had to tell him to stop. The food was coming.
Right?
He's like, can you put your crayons away? We got to make room for the food.
It's quite a distraction, actually.
Oh, sorry, guys.
X's and O's.
Yeah. Hangman. Yep.
Crushing it. And you'd always make the word really bad. So you try to make somebody say it at the table in front of your parents when you were a kid. Because
the wait staff, they end up writing their name upside down, right? They come like, hi, I'm Michelle. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
It's insanity.
It's time for Ask Rhett.
I love it. It's a big day.
It is a big day. Hope Street Property Management. Managing tenants, finding those premium rental rates for the people who are looking to rent their spot. Like you, Rhett, right? You're what do you call it? You're kind of a squatter there, right? Did Hope Street get you that place in Buffalo, or did you just kind of you looked in the mirrors? Oh, shit, there's nobody here.
It looked like maybe somebody that works for our crew needed a Hope Street yesterday with his fancy rental.
Yeah, poor Wolverine. He's got a rental place here, and the old hot water tank decided to take a dump.
Oh,
blah. That's the thing with the old hot water tank. It rarely gives you a heads up. It's not like
it's not a light or a button that comes on.
You want to not feeling too good. Doesn't give you one of those.
Yeah.
And the best part is you spend a bunch of money to get it repaired, only to really just get back to the same lifestyle you were in.
Right.
Just I had hot water. I still have hot water. I'm out $2,000.
Yep.
If that's what I don't know, but that's not. But again, Hope Street.
Now you don't have to worry about it.
It's not your deal. HopeStreet.ca. I mentioned earlier about I was going to bring in Tower Chrysler. Serge, right? Our boy Serge, great guy. Got us set up in the Nation truck and the Nation Jeep, and studio sponsor for us here.
The ringer from the hockey.
That's right. Yeah. From the pond hockey. His wife is a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And an avid viewer and listener of the show. And she's heard you kind of making some disparaging comments about teachers over the last few weeks.
Well, she can find. Is there a question with this, or do you want me to just?
Well, she just says, would you rather spend a day in a grade 3 classroom, math, social studies, recess supervision, lunch duty, correcting grammar, meeting with parents, or something like pest control in Arizona? What would you rather do? Does that sound like something you'd want to take part in?
I'm scared of chemicals, so pest control doesn't sound fun. But can I squish the pest? Can I just walk around with a stick or something and squash them? Or do I got to chemicals?
Well, I think the point she's getting.
Either way,
maybe
I've got 3 kids and I don't like them. So, well, she can take solace in the fact that my sister's a teacher. My brother-in-law is a teacher. My sister-in-law is a teacher. I got about 8 teachers that have surrounded me, and I continue. I've ruined Christmas arguing with teachers, so I poke my fun and I take my cheap shots, but I love them all. Love them all.
Christmas, hey?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you remember how did it start, and how did it eventually come to an end?
White wine. It started with 2 bottles of white wine that I was refused to share. It was Christmas Day, and my whole thing is that's my thing, right? Once the gifts are opened Christmas morning, I am duty free.
Yes.
I'm allowed to do as I please. So I went to my brother's, drank a couple bottles of wine, got into some rum, and proceeded to inform these people they should change their ways and find a better way of doing their business. It's a bunch of BS.
Mm-hmm.
You're really just trying to help them out.
Yeah, that's just it, Cronin, right? Like when we were playing and our coaches said, "Hey, you're horse shit," what did we do?
Yeah.
We got better at something, right? Whereas,
Yeah, you're terrible. You suck at this. You might want to get out of hockey or figure it out real fast.
But
And
you
your
say that to a
sister-in-law-
teacher and they just
Yeah.
take offense.
Yeah,
Oh,
your
I know, right away.
sister-in-law, you tell her that.
Yeah.
She gets all wound up.
My nephews loved it. I was shit talking her right at Christmas, and they were younger, still too young to hear those words the way I was talking. It was awesome. It's one of, you know what? One of their favorite Christmases, they said. One of their favorites.
I'm sure it was.
Memorable at the very least.
Yeah.
Drunkle Rhett was excellent that night.
Yeah, old Drunkle Rhett. This one is from Jaden. Hey, Rhett, born and raised in Alberta, I have recently moved to Saskatchewan. Do you have any advice for me? Because it feels like I've gone back in time.
Well, no, you will forever be stuck in the 80s in Saskatchewan. Like, you will never get out of it. And
there's no progress.
The only thing, you have to embrace it, and you have to buy some type of ATV, snowmobile. You need to have a lake or camper, and that is how you can survive in Saskatchewan. You have to have outings and events to make your life worthwhile.
See, and Manitoba's no different.
Zero different. Yeah.
That was always the thing.
100% same.
If ever we considered moving back, so, well, we're going to need a boat and a side-by-side or something like that. You're going to have to curl, I guess, ice fish, like
socials.
Yep.
You need a snow machine. You need all that stuff. It's the same as having cutlery living anywhere else. Otherwise, you're just, I don't even know what to do with myself.
What else is there to do, really?
Which doesn't make you bad.
No, it doesn't. And the city, you have to go into the city. That's a term you have to learn too. I have to go into the city for stuff when you need stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Like,
my relatives didn't even go to the city. They went to town. Oh, we better go to town today. We gotta get the butter and the bread.
Are you going into town?
Yeah.
No,
I'm not.
I loved it. I'd stay at my uncle's place in the middle of nowhere, middle of effing nowhere. And he'd get mad that Auntie was going to town. What are you going to town again for? You're just there. What do you need to go to town for?
Yeah.
We just went to town.
Yeah.
What's in town?
Yeah.
What do you got to go to town for? You're right.
Haven't seen another person
Jackson
for 18 weeks. But what are you going to go to town for?
Well, we're going to go to town and, I don't know, have a coffee. We got coffee here.
And they complain too about how far away everything is. There's a town 6 minutes over where I grew up. I grew up in a dry town, Mennoniteville, right? In old Winkler, Manitoba. And we go 6 minutes to Morden where there's a liquor store. And we would always complain, can you believe that drive to Morden? That's like basically 3 minutes. Yeah. It's out of town. I don't know if I can do this.
Is it still dry?
Not anymore.
No.
Not anymore. I go back much more frequently now.
Yeah.
There's a cabaret and climaxes tonight, but I don't know. That's a long way to get to there.
The cabaret. Yeah. Social. You guys call it a social. It's a cabaret. It's not a cabaret. It's a social.
Yeah.
Like, this means nothing to a lot of people, but to the people that they're getting it, they're loving it.
Like when I got into a social for the first time, I was underage, and I get my shot of rum or whatever they gave me, and I was too scared to even go over to the mix machine to go grab like pop or Sprite. So I just drank it straight, and I'm like, this is terrible. I'm gonna have to, but if I'm gonna get drunk, this is the only way to do it, and I'll have to go get another one.
Yeah. I'm not. You'd buy 1,000 tickets.
Yeah.
Because the line out. I'm not standing in the line again.
Yep.
You just empty your wallet for all the tickets. I'm standing in line for tickets again. What am I, an idiot?
Yeah.
I'll have $900 worth of tickets, please. From Jackson, hey Rhett, what's the limit on the amount of melted jalapeno cheese to take with your entree before it gets piggish at the Saskatoon Fuddruckers?
Oh, I used to love. I would get my own. The fries come in a little container or cup or holder thing. So the cheese, I would take another container cup and just fill the whole damn thing.
That's what he says. 1 paper cup, 3 paper cups. Where do you feel like, okay, I'm abusing the system?
Yeah, 2 at least. I think they've probably changed it from the last time I was there, but that jalapeno cheese at Fuddruckers is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Do you know the Fuddruckers?
I know the Fuddruckers. I've never been to the one in
Because
Saskatoon.
they had one in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And then it shut down
Long,
like 50 years ago.
Yeah, when I wasn't even born.
Yeah. But it was.
Yeah, it's
it was
another
good.
Saskatchewan small town thing where it only survives in certain places. There was a Fuddruckers here in Buffalo when I played, and it is now gone. Weird, and oddly enough, it went into a guess what? Wing joint.
Oh,
Shocker.
Yeah.
Not enough of those.
Can you describe to people what Fuddruckers is that would not know?
Fuddruckers? Well, I mean, I won't do it probably as much justice as they would like, but it's a burger joint, and they grind their own meat, so they got kind of a little butcher shop in the front, and they grind all that meat together, and you can pick a 1/4 pound or a 1/2 pound burger, and you get to pick how much rare you want it or well done you want it. And then they got it's like a condiment buffet, right? Where you could just you get your burger on a grilled bun, and you could go over and put on anything you want, from lettuce, onions, sauteed onions, jalapeno peppers. But they've got, the best part about it is the big vats of cheese.
yes.
You got the pumps on there, and you just keep pumping the cheese onto your burger and fries and more and more, more and more and more.
And they had like bison burgers too, right?
Yeah.
And elk and ostrich and all that fun stuff.
We stopped. We used to eat at Fuddruckers after we'd beat the piss out of the Pats in Regina. That's what was always our after game meal.
Reward.
Is that Jeff Friesen?
Friesen and was it Mickey? I want to say Mickey. I think it was DuPont, not Mickey Dumont. Anyway.
Brody. Right?
Was it?
Brody DuPont? Or no, he was hit.
No,
Anyway.
I don't think so.
Call
Lou. Call Lou. Lou will know.
Lou's listening. Hey, Rhettster. I'm looking to add a pet to the household. Maybe something exotic. Any ideas or something that you would recommend? It's from Josh.
That's exotic. I know Croner will say fish are lovely, wonderful.
I was thinking about it. Yep.
Yeah. I hate snakes. We proved that yesterday. That's right out there.
That video's no good.
My kid would
I had
tell
a bearded
you,
dragon.
when I hear exotic,
dragon.
now, okay, perv. If what?
No, that's
what
bearded
do you
clown. That's
consider?
different.
What do you consider exotic? Because when I hear exotic, I think reptile.
Me too.
But maybe it's a piranha or a shark
Or a parrot. Parrots are exotic. You got to fly them
You know
in.
what else I think? When you get an exotic pet, you're probably an idiot. Because like a dog is hard enough, right? Like,
Right.
but the dog likes you. Now you're going to have a giant lizard that looks at you with just disdain, and not like you're getting nothing in return.
This question is probably better suited for Robin Leonard. You know, him and his snake farm that he has with a bunch of millions. Did you hear about that story?
Bankrupt Robin Leonard. I don't know if that's a good question.
A parrot, maybe a nice finch.
Brent Burns.
You know
Burns
what?
is still into that
One of
stuff,
those
right?
weaselly things. A
Ferret.
ferret.
A ferret. Yes, they stink though.
Oh,
they stink.
Don't
Or
get a
tortoise.
ferret. Yeah, but if you get the ferret, you can feed it to the snake, so you're good in
That's
both
true,
ways.
right? There's a lot of yeah.
We don't condone any of this behavior. If you're a pet owner, pets just don't. Hey, Rhett, this is from Ryan on Twitter. Do you ever miss Southwest Sask? How did your upbringing there influence and shape the character that you are today?
Well,
do you ever miss it?
Like my grandpa used to say when I was in Southwest Sask, the world don't owe you a living.
It's true.
You want to just end? You want to just end with that?
I really don't want to end on that one. No, that was the first thing that went through my mind.
Because that's that's deep. And a lot of people, it take people a long time to just kind of go, whoa.
Yeah. Whoa. Now, Nick has a very long question here, and I your memory is very good for some things and not for another. So this is very random. 2004, round 1, Canucks, Flames, Dome. You're on the ice. There's a scrum. Scrum kind of comes to a close. Everybody's dispersing. Jarkko Ruutu comes up alongside you, puts his arm around your shoulder and starts jabbering in your ear. Did you have any idea what he was saying? Could you understand Jarkko Ruutu? Was he a good guy? Were you on the same page with this guy, or were you resisting the urge to bop him right in the nose?
Oof, I don't recall what he would have said, but I hated the guy, so it would have been
Okay.
nothing kind.
Because I think a lot of people said, Rhett, does Rhett like this guy? Is this guy a good guy? Rhett can't like this guy.
Best buddies. Grew up together.
No. He was a shit disturber, him and his brother.
Tuomo?
Assistant coach in Florida. Like, I'm not good enough to
right?
assistant coach, alumni.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't. What I remember about Jarkko Ruutu was when he absolutely steamrolled Byron Ritchie in exhibition game. Like, one of the hardest hits I've seen. Just clobbered him like, oh, ouch.
Those are fun to watch. If they don't happen to you, to hear them too, sitting on the bench,
yeah.
listening to them, and watching the person pick up the pieces where their arm used to be and just try to put it back into place and get back on the bench. That's something else.
Task Rhett. It's a presentation of Hope Street Rental Property Management. Let Hope Street do all the work. All that, the stuff that it drives you crazy about either renting, being a renter, renting your place, having to become, all of it is taken off your plate. Book a virtual meeting online. Hope Street will get to work for you soon, immediately. Tout suite. It's French. Canada's Property Manager of the Year. Locations in Vancouver, Edmonton, and Calgary. Rhett, the website for Hope Street is, of course,
HopeStreet.ca.
There it is.
Sing it, Krahn.
You do, because that's the only way I hear it. Even if you say it, I hear it singing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Did you
guess
guys
this
get
one
new
here,
jerseys, Dean?
Yeah, those are, you know what those are? Those supplied by Travis over at the hearing loss clinic.
They sell jerseys?
No, but he has some, and they're autographed, and we're going to use them as potential prizes.
I like that.
Yeah, they don't sell jerseys. Fuck's sakes. An idiot.
I've been going to the wrong place the whole time to get jerseys.
Yeah. Oh, what do you do here? I was going to grab a Uyghur. Yeah. Damn it. This was from Andrew. Hey, lads, I'll be off to the teachers' convention. First time in person for a number of years. Should I just hit a boozy breakfast and then some sessions, or how should I approach it? Just lean right into it.
Should have started the night before.
I say for sure you boozy brunch it and then go to the event, sign your name down, and just leave. Don't even go in.
Yeah.
Is what 95% of the teachers do. I went to the convention. Yeah, I saw you. You didn't leave your bar stool.
They're absolutely banged up by 1:30 p.m.
Oh, crushed.
I'm a teacher. Look at what do you do? I'm not a teacher. I have to work today. I'm in the oil patch.
So wait, but you're at the bar as well.
Of course, time. Yeah. No, I've been there before they got there. Yeah. Oh, great. The teachers are coming in.
That guy's a loser. He's here every day. I saw him here every day last week. Do our Betway bets of the day, and we'll get out of here. Flames and Red Wings tonight. Both of these have hit in the last few days, so it's not overly creative. Going to use one of mine, one of Pinder's. Toffoli anytime goal. He hit it the other night in Ottawa. Plus 162 for an anytime goal. 5 goals in his last 5 games. Mo Seider, 1+ assists. Now, Pinder, I think, used this one yesterday. He scored a goal, then scored in the shootout. But dude is legit. 1 assist, plus 140 for Moritz Seider in tonight's game.
It's not a name.
Have you seen, are you aware of Mo Seider?
I am aware of him, but I haven't heard it said out loud in a long time.
Moritz.
Hey, Moritz Seider.
That's right. So you already kind of threw out the first game back after a long road trip. Are you? What's your What's your gut telling you, Retro?
I don't know. I mean, how do you make anything of this team? You can't follow a projection, right? Like, there's no line that they've been following, or it's been so random. You can't deny that the first game back is a thing, and it's especially for a thing for average teams, and I think that's what the Flames are. So I would be very concerned that they're going to be a little bit flat to start.
Does it help at all that this is a team you just played within the week and you were not very good against?
It helps that
Like
you
you're-
weren't good against them, and it also helps that you shit the bed against Ottawa, so they should be motivated and have focus, but
Who knows?
Lots of fodder for motivation to play well.
Yeah.
tonight. That's right.
Yeah.
Croner, it's good to see
But
you.
again,
Thanks for having me on.
It's good to see you.
we got to give Detroit credit. They are no pushover.
No, they're not. That's going to be a good team. They're without Lucas Raymond, a recent first rounder, very good young player. He's on the IR, but they brought up Jacob Vrana. Remember, he was brought over from Washington, had some substance issue, all that. Kind of looked like he was not going to play again. Guy can score. He's a dangerous player. He's got some issues and some baggage away from the game, but the guy's a hell of a hockey player. So it's not like they take a huge step back there. But no, you're right, Retro. Top to bottom, Stevie Y is putting a good team together there. And again, 25 wins, 25 wins. Who's the favorite? Who should be looking at who? And this is a winnable game. I think that you lose to Chicago and you need overtime for Columbus and you lose against Ottawa. That there's no more. Just wipe that whole.
When they play to level their competition too, right? So it'd be nice to see them blow one of these teams out. You're supposed to be better than them, but like you said, they're not.
No,
right.
Good point by you. Well done there.
No big deal. That's what I do.
That's right.
Yeah.
Tonight, Afterburner, Krahn, and myself, shortly after the final buzzer. And then tomorrow,
because the teacher
That's right.
convention's still going and Pinder's not free. Okay.
Yeah. And then tomorrow, this program, at least the part of it, the Tower Chrysler Studios, taking them on the road.
Where are you going?
We're doing the show tomorrow from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Great spot. Stage
Bar. We were there for the Super Bowl. I think you could say that now in hindsight, right? We were there for Super Bowl on Sunday, and we're going back. We're gonna sprinkle in a few dates here over the next few months. Do some barn burner, do some afterburner, watching games there, hanging out. Tomorrow, show number 1 from the Stage Bar.
That's a big deal.
Sure is, buddy.
What a great spot. Do you play blackjack?
I like to play blackjack.
So are you here tomorrow, Pinder? Pinder. Croner?
We haven't got that far yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what Pinder's thing is.
Okay. Good.
I think he's back tomorrow, but maybe we should just do this again.
He's taking one of those He's taking one of those Jay DeForest Wednesdays off.
Yeah, just some weird middle of the week, out of nowhere.
Well, you always need a plan B. I've garnered a nickname or two, Plan B. And I'm fine with that.
So swing by the Greagle tomorrow. Maybe we'll do split the 8s, double down. 21. Yeah. At the Greagle. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. We'll see you tonight on Afterburner. There it is. See ya.